Guys, next tip I'm going to give to you guys is do not let estate agents make you go with a solicitor that they've recommended. Find your own solicitor. Like, I would advise you to find your own solicitor that you're satisfied with, not because an estate agent has recommended them to you, because most times the estate agent is just trying to get paid.
I think that's enough of the small talk. I don't usually give up my number.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. My name is Shola, and today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. So in this video, I actually talk about different tips that I would give someone who is a first-time buyer looking for a home and is now in the process of viewing properties. If you want to see how I got this look, girl, start to finish, unit, everything, makeup, the whole shebang, keep on watching. So let's get straight into it. As you guys already know, I always do my unit, wig first, whatever you want to call it, wig, unit. Because I know some girls don't like referring to their wigs as a wig. They like to refer to it as a unit, but we call it a spade here, honey, okay? We keep it real. This is the wig I'm going to be trying out today. It's actually a light brown wig. I'm actually going out, so I'm really scared, because if this wig doesn't suit me, the event I'm going to is cancelled. I'm not going again. I'm not going, because I've never tried this tone before. Usually when I do try a tone like this, it's like the roots are still kind of dark, but these roots are brown basically. Yeah, so this wig is from Ali Pearl Hair. I've previously had hair from Ali Pearl before, so I am not worried about the quality at all. Ali Pearl have one of the best quality hair that I've ever experienced, so I'm not worried about quality, nothing like that. So my only worry is whether it will suit me, basically. It's a me problem. So as you guys can see, the wig is pre-plucked. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the wig is pre-plucked. This is a 24-inch wig. It's actually quite long, I guess, because it's straight. Yeah, it's quite long. It's a straight wig. The cap size that I got is a large, because I'm not sure how Ali Pearl actually do their cap sizing, so I just got a large just in case. I already oiled my hair with some coconut oil, so it will stay hydrated in the wig cap. I really like this. It's not even on my head yet, but yeah, I really like it. Oh my god, this is so cute. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, write down the things that you are absolutely not compromising on when buying your property, like your first home. The things that you absolutely must have, like 1, whether it's parking space, 2, whether it's a low maintenance garden, 3, whether it's like a 2-bedroom or you want a 3-bedroom or just a 1-bed apartment. Just write down all the things that you want that your property must have. So your must haves, absolutely not compromising on, and make sure you stick to them. That is my first number 1 tip, because I'm not gonna lie, like if you're one of those people that you don't actually know what you want and you're kind of like a little bit like you can be easily swayed, let me tell you something, estate agents will sway you. Like, they will make you do things you do not want to do. Estate agents, they can talk. They will talk you into wanting a property that you do not even want, that you have no business buying. And that nearly happened to me. They will give you all of this, in a few years time, the market is going to be great for this area, and there's so many nice schools around here. They will sweet talk you. Like, don't let estate agents sweet talk you at all. They just want their commission and they just want their money. I've sprayed 1 layer of the got to be glued spray on my head, and I'm just going to do another layer. So whilst that's drying, I'm just going to cut the lace. Remember, you don't want to cut in a straight line, because if you cut in a straight line, then it will not look real. Everybody knows that you can see the lace. I know you people will be saying, where's the lace? We can see the lace. But what you can do is make it look as realistic as possible. So that's what we're going to try and do here, okay? As much as you want to have things that you're not compromising on, you also want to make sure that you have a few things which you're able to compromise on. So for example, for me, one of the things that I was absolutely not compromising on was a low maintenance garden, because let me tell you something, gardening is not for me. It's not happening. Like, it's not happening. I'm not doing any gardening for anybody. Like, it's just not even an option. Like, Like my mum does my gardening for me most times, because the garden was like something that I would just not compromise on. Anytime I viewed a property and the garden looked like it had grass and trees and just so many things, I was just like, no, absolutely not. Count me out of that. Drop me out of that, because it is not happening. Yeah, so I was just not gonna be doing any gardening. Like anybody that knows me knows that I'm an advocate for soft life. Like anything that involves any type of struggling, any type of like, not even struggling, anything that involves extra hard work that I don't really need to do, extra hard work that's not really necessary, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Life is too short. Why do I have to put myself through that? No. I know like gardening is like fun for some people and some people genuinely enjoy it, but for me, I don't enjoy it, so why should I put myself through it? It just doesn't make sense. Gardening is something that I just wasn't going to compromise on. Has a bit of like weed growing out of it sometimes, but it's nothing that I can't deal with, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that's tip number 2. Be okay to compromise sometime, but if you're compromising, make sure it's something that you're absolutely okay with. For instance, I know some people won't buy a property that doesn't have like a driveway for them to park their car. For me, that wasn't a big deal. It's like if there's on-street parking, I don't really mind. I don't really mind parking my car on the street in front of my house, like, yeah. So for me, that was something that I was happy to compromise on, but I know that some people wouldn't even compromise on that. And also, even though I made it very clear that I was looking for houses, I remember there was a time where I looked at this house and then I looked at another house not far from this house, and the estate agent was trying to kind of sway me into going with the other house, but I didn't like the other house because the rooms were a lot smaller than this one, and I think she was trying to sell this house to some guy who really wanted it, because me and the guy were in like a bidding war for this house. Basically, this house went up by 30k more than what it was listed for, because me and him kept going back and forth. Like he would add like 5k more to the asking price, then I would add like 10k more, then he would like at 15k, then I would add like 20k more, and it was just like back and forth like the whole day. But that was because I really wanted this house, and obviously I got it. So yeah, do not let estate agents sway you. They're just trying to make their own money basically, because you don't want to have any regrets after buying your house. It is a big investment, probably one of the biggest investments that you'll... Is it? Yeah, I feel like properties are a big investment. So yeah, so you definitely want to stick to like what you actually want. Do not let them sway you. I remember the times where I used to hate doing a frontal, and now like I just find them so easy. You know when they say practice makes perfect, that's a lie. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice just helps you to be good at something. Doesn't mean you're perfect at it, because there's no such thing as being perfect. But I feel like some hairstylists are literally so perfect at doing these things though. I don't like too much baby hair like when I'm doing my frontal, because I just don't see the need to have like massive baby hairs. I just feel like it's so unrealistic. Like you don't need so many as well. I feel like 2 or 3 on each side is enough. When you start doing swirly up, swirly down, it's enough. It's okay. Relax. Just relax. I feel like it's mostly like stylists just trying to show what they can do anyways. I don't feel like I've seen anybody in real life do like massive baby hairs, if that makes sense. Like what I'm trying to say makes sense. So I'm just going to go in with the spray a little bit more before I tie that down, because I want this wig to actually stay in till tomorrow, because I'm going out tomorrow as well. Guys, it also came with a little band. Let me just use that to just tie that down. So guys, the next tip that I want to give to you guys is when you start viewing houses, when you go in, when you're in the house, when you go into the house, when you walk in, make sure you ask them to put on the boiler for you. I'm not even playing. Tell them you want to see if the boiler works, because it's one thing for them to say, yeah, it works fine, And then it's another thing, like when you actually move in, your boiler's not working, because that's what happened to me. Not that the boiler wasn't working, the boiler was working. For some reason, I just couldn't get it to work and I didn't know how to. And I wish I had asked them, like, how does the boiler work? How do you put it on? What do I need to do, kind of thing, to actually understand how the boiler works. So for ages, like, my house was really cold and I couldn't move in properly because I was cold. I couldn't sleep there. Like, I couldn't sleep in the house, basically. And I thought something was really, really wrong with the boiler, but there was a switch behind the boiler that I needed to switch on. But the switch was quite hidden, so I wouldn't have known where the switch was and how to do it, basically. Another thing I would say, my next tip would be to make sure that you, if there's toilet, well, obviously there'll be toilets in the property, flush the toilets. Just to make sure they're flushing right. If the water pressure is low, you're going to be standing there flushing your poo for 5 different flushes. Girl, I'm telling you that now. That's not my case, obviously, but I've seen it happen to people before. So make sure you check that the toilet actually flushes properly, like the water pressure is good. Test out the plug sockets. That's another tip. Make sure you test out the plug sockets, make sure they're working, because these people will have you believing that their plug sockets work, but then you'll find out it doesn't work. Then you now have to sort that out when you move in. Like, it's just long. You don't want all these little things. If you test those things out and you see that they're not working, you can easily basically tell your solicitor, when I went to view the property, this wasn't working. Please ask the sellers to make sure they like amend it, or, you know, deal with it before they move out. And that would be something that you've raised as inquiry, and they have to basically deal with it. Or if they don't deal with it and they're like, no, we can't bother to deal with it, then they can take some money off the purchase price, basically. So obviously that's where negotiating comes in. And if you have a good solicitor, they should be able to negotiate for you properly and like just make sure that they are acting in your best interest. Another tip I would say is make sure you carry out a survey. A survey will tell you everything possibly that could be wrong with the property. So for instance, if there's damp in the property, it will tell you. If the roof is off, something's wrong with the roof. I don't know if you guys remember, but in one of my vlogs, I said that I was getting the roof done because there was something wrong with my roof. And I had it done. I had the seller take off money from the purchase price because of that, because I didn't want to have to pay for it. I think it cost me like 1,400 to get it fixed, and I told him to take it off the purchase price because I'm not paying for something that I have to pay out of my pocket for it. No. So that's another thing I would advise all new purchasers, new buyers, first time buyers. Make sure you do a survey. So that is another tip. At the lace. Oh, I love this for me. Okay, so I'm just brushing my brows upwards like this, just to feather them out a little bit, make them look a little bit more in trend. Guys, the hair quality is so nice. The quality is just so nice. Even though it's been colored, like, it just feels so good. Right, so I'm just putting some foundation on the part. So I've added that foundation to the lace and it looks more realistic now. So I'm just going to use my hot comb to just flatten the wig a little bit more before I start my makeup. Guys, don't forget that links to this wig and other types of wigs will be linked down below, so you guys can check out Ali Pearl's website for different units. They actually have really affordable units as well, so yeah, make sure you check them out, guys. So the next thing I'll need to do is straighten the wig, even though it's already quite straight. Oh gosh, look at that. I feel like a proper bad bee. Cute. Oh my god, this hair is gorgeous. One thing that I do want to do is flatten this side a little bit more, because I feel like this side is a little bit more puffier than the other side. So I'm just going to go in sections. It's just because I'm just trying to make sure my hair is laid. Oh my god. I don't even feel like doing my makeup. This is one of those wigs that you have that you don't even feel the need to do your makeup because you just look so gorgeous. It just looks so good. Wow. I'm going to give you guys a few more tips. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm going to start off by using the Fenty Beauty primer. So going in with the Estee Lauder foundation, This is like my favorite foundation ever. My next tip would be, don't be afraid to ask the sellers questions. Yeah, do not be afraid to ask them questions, because you get to find out like a lot of things about the house. Ask them about the parking arrangements at the property. Ask them about just so many different things that, you know, you would want to know if you were living there, basically. Ask them what the neighbors are like. I have no shame in asking about the neighbors. Do you ever have any issues with any of the neighbors? Like, you know, just little things that you might need to know for when you move in. I also want to ask them, when is bin collection day? You know, are you going to leave your bins at the house so that I can use it? That's one thing I didn't ask, and in hindsight I feel like I probably should have, because everybody on this road has a bin and I didn't, like a wheelie bin thing. And then so that's something that you can obviously get from the council, but the council was just like, yeah, you're gonna have to buy your own. So I had to buy my own, basically. So ask the sellers to leave the bin if they can. So that will really help you out a lot, especially when you first move in. You will have a lot of rubbish that you've accumulated from like your previous home, that when you move in, you don't even, when you're packing, you don't realize it's rubbish until you move in and you're like, oh god, I have a lot of rubbish to get rid of. That was me, basically. Like the amount of times I took trips to the household recycling center, they even knew me there. By the time I moved in properly, they knew who I was. They'll be like, back again? I'll be like, yes, I'm back again, honey. So I'm now going in with my concealer. I'm using the Born This Way Too Faced concealer. Can't really talk when I'm blending, so I'm just gonna do this part quickly, and then I'm gonna give you my last few tips, because my makeup shouldn't really take too long because I'm not really doing much to my eyes today. Elf concealer, this one is a little bit lighter and it's just gonna brighten up my under eye just there a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys the difference. I never used to do this before, and then, you know, the TikTok girls and the beauty girls on Instagram, they made me do it. They made me do it. And it just lifts your eyes a little bit more. I don't know how to explain it, but honestly, using a lighter concealer just brightens the under eye a little bit more, and I absolutely love it. This bit really needs a lot of concentration, and I can't really talk too much whilst setting my concealer, otherwise I'll have creases, and I'm going out, so we can't have creases, girls. Okay. I'm using the Hoola Toasted Benefit bronzer to just bronze my face. I'm not doing any heavy contouring today. Guys, next tip I'm going to give to you guys is, do not let estate agents make you go with a solicitor that they've recommended, because most time if an estate agent recommends a solicitor to you, like a solicitor's firm, a law firm, if they recommend it to you, most times they're getting paid, so they're getting extra commission from the law firm for recommending them. So if you go with the law firm that they've recommended without actually knowing if that law firm is good, you're going to be in a sticky situation, because some law firms will take ages to put through a transaction. Like a normal freehold sale transaction or purchase transaction will take ages. Obviously, I basically kind of did my transaction myself. I literally got it through within 2 months. I think I put down my offer in like December. Yeah, so I put down my offer in December, and by February I was ready to move into my house. Well, the house was ready, but I could have moved in Feb, but I didn't move in Feb because I just had so much to do. Find your own solicitor. Like, I would advise you to find your own solicitor that you're satisfied with, not because an estate agent has recommended them to you, because most times the estate agent is just trying to get paid. I'm telling you that now. Like, they do not care at all about what's actually good for you. They're just trying to get paid. So I've just used this blush from EX1. I really like this blush. It's so good, and it's got like a bit of highlight in it, so you don't have to highlight your cheeks, because I know we're not really meant to be highlighting anymore because the Instagram girls said so, and the TikTok girls have said that we should not highlight again. But I still like a little bit of glow on my cheeks. You see that glow? I still kind of like that. So this blush is actually really good for that. And one thing I also like is the fact that you can tap in some powder on top of that blush to, you know, tone it down a bit if it's a little bit too bright for you. Like, it works really well with like setting powders. Okay, so I've just used some brown eyeshadow on my lid. My last tip, to try different mortgage brokers. If you haven't already got a mortgage in principle, you shouldn't really be looking at properties anyways. Make sure you have your mortgage in principle first before you start looking at mortgage. Mortgage in principle is basically a mortgage promise, so it's a promise from the bank that they will lend you a certain amount before you actually, you know, find a property and actually do the mortgage application. So make sure you have that in place first before you start looking at properties. But the thing is, I also want to point out, make sure you try different mortgage brokers, because when I first started, the first mortgage broker was terrible. The second one was also, she was okay, but she was trying to help me, but I just felt like she wasn't helping me enough, and I had to basically help myself and do it myself. When I went directly to my bank to see how much I could lend, they offered me more basically than what she could find for me. So the best rate she could find for me wasn't even the best rate for me basically. So yeah, I was really annoyed about that, because if I hadn't gone to my bank myself, then I wouldn't have got a better rate, like a better mortgage rate that I did. So yeah, make sure you go to different mortgage lenders. So I went off camera to finish off my makeup. So I just literally just did my eyeliner. My lips are nude today. I usually do a glossy lip. I might change it when I'm about to go out, but I'm not sure yet. And I love how this look turned out. Really, really nice and seamless. Absolutely love it. I'm just going to straighten it a little bit more just to make sure, you know, it stays nice and straight the whole day. So whilst my straighteners are getting hot, I'm just going to change my outfit into the outfit that I'm wearing out, just to save a little bit of time. This hair is so nice. I haven't even added any oils or anything, and it's so glossy. So I'm just going to add some hair oil to my hair just to keep it nice and sleek. Yeah, I really like this wig. So nice. Yeah, so I'm done now. This is the finished look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope the tips were actually good. So the tips that I gave you guys are tips that I've actually learned when I was looking for properties and just doing different house viewings. If you have any more tips, if you've bought your own property and you have more tips as well, make sure you comment down below. Let's all share, let's all help each other. If you have anything that you want to say to me, you want to voice to me, nothing negative. If you have anything that you want to say to me, guys, make sure you comment down below. I always read my comments. If you love this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, guys, because it really does help me out. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.